morning, everyone. This is Tony from Her Homestead Skills. And some of you know that we have been on holiday, I guess. We've decided to take a road trip to the U.S. And, well, we've run into a bit of an issue here. Even though Mark had the car serviced before we came down, he thought he had looked after everything. And we get to a point, and you never know when car trouble's gonna rear its ugly head, and of course it did it at the most inopportune time. And fortunately, he was able to pull off the road before the whole thing totally shut down. Apparently the alternator, perhaps the battery, we thought it was either the battery or the alternator because it was an electrical problem. I'm not privy. Mark understands these things. He's very adept at understanding how cars work, so I leave that kind of thing up to him. But it was in a very difficult spot. It was in a bend. There was a little house just off to the side, and eventually, you know, we were there for about half an hour wondering what we were going to do, and got on the phone and tried to get a tow service, and that was kind of strange. Eventually the lady who, well, she didn't own the house there. Well, she probably did, but her daughter lived in it, on the one on the corner, and she lived in the house behind. Apparently they purchased this house so they could have her daughter and her grandchildren close by. But she became extremely helpful, thank goodness. Talked to us, and Mark asked her if she knew a local tow company, and because there was no way the car totally shut down when it was an error like that. It goes into park and you can't move it. But eventually I think her husband came by as well, and they got at least the car off the road. It was just barely to the side of the road, but it was on a very dangerous bend. The lady herself kept telling me that, yeah, they've had a number of incidences on that particular bend. So, yeah, but at least we got off the road. But anyway, they helped push push the car off onto the driveway itself. And we did manage to, with her assistance, get a local tow company to pick the car up, and did a fine job. I can't say anything. It was a wonderful experience as far as the help from the locals and the help from the tow company, but unfortunately we were in the middle of nowhere. And we had to, the closest dealership was in someplace we didn't want to go, but there was no choice in the matter. So at least it's on the outskirts of a large town, as opposed to, you know, we've been trying to avoid all the larger towns. So it was a 2-hour drive to get us to a dealership. Mark does not own the kind of car that your local mechanic would even have parts for, never mind know how to service. They may know how to service it, but it would take them a few days to get the parts anyway. So the best solution was, even according to the tow truck driver, or the owner of the tow truck company, who knew cars and knew the neighborhood and the area, and that suggested it was the best was to take the car to the dealership, and they were more than fair. I have no issue with with the service we had from there. And we had a very chatty conversation with the driver all the way down, and very, very decent and helpful people. Can't say anything good enough. Like, they were just awesome. From the woman who her and her husband owned the property, to the tow truck company, everyone was wonderful. And we did manage to pull into the dealership, believe it or not, on holiday Monday. And there was somebody there. There was, I guess, salespeople trying to sell cars on holiday Monday. So I guess people have to work whether they like it or not. But the sales manager was there as well. So he gave Mark an envelope to fill out to determine what to do, so that the service guy could look at it. And so we've been sitting here in a hotel for a couple of days now. They did figure out what to do the very next day, the very next morning. And then they're waiting for a part now to come because they did not have the part in stock either. So hopefully a part will come in today, and who knows when we'll be able to get back on the road again. But such is life. Sometimes you have to take the good with the bad and just carry on. So we'll get in touch again soon. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.